you think about the success of things like Uber, Airbnb, and really you can expand this out to so many areas, and one of those is boating. Now, for a lot of people, they'll tell you the best 2 days of boating is the day you buy the boat and the day you sell the boat. And in between, well, there can be a lot of headache hassle, and often the boat just sitting around either in the water or on a trailer doing nothing. And so a concept now which has been started in Brisbane but will be available all over the place is FLOTE.com.au, F-L-O-T-E. And this is effectively about bringing people together who enjoy boating from time to time but don't actually have the wherewithal, the means or the desire to own a boat with other boat owners. Jonathan Bozenkay is the founder of FLOTE, F-L-O-T-E.com.au, and he's on the line. Jonathan, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Where did your interest in this area come from? Have you been a keen boatie over the years?
I have in a not own a boat way. So I've been a go out with friends. My dad had a boat, but with a young family and all that sort of ongoing expenses of businesses and things, I have decided not to own a boat because, as you know, well, you just nailed it before, they don't often get used as much as you would like to use them, and they are a black hole in the water sometimes. So.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting, and you make this point, and it's the one many of these big businesses have come now. Airbnb, the largest accommodation site in the world, but it doesn't own a hotel. Uber, the largest taxi service in the world, it doesn't own a vehicle. And Facebook, the largest social media company in the world, and creates no content.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's where the idea came from. I read that meme on Facebook, and I just sort of thought, I've got to think of something like that, you know. And my love for boating, and obviously that massive problem that sits with boating, it's expensive. And I thought this is the perfect share economy product.
Well, it's not dissimilar to a sort of timeshare accommodation arrangement that we knew about years and years ago, but this is now being extended to a range of areas, and in your case, with boats.
Absolutely. And the best thing about boats is that people that own boats actually want to share their boat with other people.
Right.
And that ranges from posing right down to literally just the old grandfather loving to show a young kid how to bait a hook. You know, so...
And so, this is, say with Airbnb, you actually stay in someone's home, but they're not in the home while you're there. In your case, with flote.com.au, will they be on board? They'll be skippering the vessel, effectively?
We do have both options available. So there will be boats available, what we call bare boat hire. So if you've got a little fishing tinny, and you used to use it a lot, but you don't now, you might be happy just to let that go with someone. But, you know, if you've got a 48-foot Maritimo, you might not be so keen to let that just go out with someone. So you would captain that for them. And you might give them the stateroom and you just sleep in the crew quarters. But they get to share the experience of that gorgeous boat, and you're there just to make sure your boat's looked after, it's, you know, running well.
No, that's right. And so for people who own a boat, what's the average sort of use of a boat a year?
About 16 days. Boat brokers will tell you about 100 to 120 hours a year.
Right, so about 16 days a year the average boat owner will actually use their boat. So, I mean, effectively in a leap year, that's 350 other days of the year where the boat just sits idle.
Absolutely, and it doesn't just sit idle, it costs money. Salt water eats boats. So if you leave it there for a year without using it, when you go to use it, there's money to spend.
Yeah, very true. Now, that's obviously in cases where the boat is moored and you've got marina costs and all of those things. For others with trailer boats, well, expenses involved there as well, because like with anything, you don't use a lawnmower for 12 months or more, you might have problems getting the engine started when you first try and use it.
Of course, and registration and insurance and all those ongoing costs that come with it. But it's about the fun. It's about sharing the fun and getting on the water. And a guy like me who's got a young family, you know, I can't think of a better way to spend an afternoon or a morning or a full day or 3 days, you know. So it's just, that's where, it's fun.
It's a fantastic idea and a different type of holiday for some people too, depending on the size of the boat. So how many different boat owners have you got on board so far?
Well, today is the very first day of our launch, and we're in pre-launch. So right now we're trying to find boat owners. Interestingly, all the sign-ups this morning have been voyagers, so people that are going to pay to go boating.
Right.
and they're
So
all
you're
signing
looking
up.
for people,
And they're all signing up saying we want to pay you guys some money, and the captains obviously are checking out our terms and conditions and taking their time. That's fine. So we've got a special insurance policy coming on board for captains, and that will top up their normal insurance. So that'll be part of their rental fee, and so they're covered. And yeah, it's going to be great fun.
Well, it's a terrific concept. So good luck with you for those who like the idea of a different sort of holiday, or just a day or two out on the harbour, whether it's Sydney, Brisbane River, you name it. Those options are there. So you can go to flote.com.au, and particularly for a boat owner who maybe is looking to maximise the use of your boat, FLOTE.com.au. And I wish you well with it, Jonathan.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Not at all. Jonathan Bosenkamp.